Start. After appreciating the evidence on record and in particular the evidence of the doctors, P.Ws 3 and 4 and the school admission register, proved as Exhibit 11 through P.W 9, the trial court held that the victim was aged about 15 years at the time of the occurrence. Stop. As regards the occurrence itself, the trial court noted that both the informant as well as the victim had greatly improved upon their earlier versions given before the investigating officer, and the court, despite holding so, it was of the view that the accused had enticed the victim girl to go with him from the custody of her parents with a view to marry her, and also married on the same day. It was also held that consent of the victim was not material as she was a minor. Stop. On such findings, the accused was convicted and sentenced as aforesaid. Stop. Para. Had Mr. D.P. Dhal, learned senior counsel, with Mr. A.K. Acharya, learned counsel, appearing for the appellant, and Mr. S.K. Mishra, learned additional standing counsel. Stop. Para. Assailing the findings of the trial court, Mr. Dhal would argue that the finding relating to age of the victim is erroneous in view of the fact that the evidence on record did not conclusively prove that the victim was 15 to 16 years of age. Stop. Mr. Dhal would further argue that when the entire version of the victim about the occurrence was proved to be an improvement from her earlier version before the IO, as also before the court, there was no legally admissible evidence on record for the trial court to have held the prosecution case as proved. Stop. In this context, it is further argued that the earlier version of the victim was true and correct, but what she stated before the court was obviously because of pressure exerted by her family, and therefore, such version could not have been relied upon. Stop. Para. Mr. Mishra, on the other hand, would support the findings of the trial court by arguing that both the doctors examined by prosecution clearly and conclusively proved that the age of the victim was 15 to 16 years. Stop. Further, the school admission register also lends support to the prosecution case that the victim was aged 15 years at the relevant time. Stop. Thus, the defense plea that the victim had left home with the accused on her own volition is of no consequence, as any consent given by a minor is no consent in the eye of law. Stop.